Welcome back, or welcome to B&F Outdoor Adventures. I'm Francis, and today I am by myself. Brittany's on another escapade with the boys, going to a haunted house today, and doing a few other things, but she'll be here later. I think we'll do some camping tonight, but today I'm going to work on this. I don't have a definite plan for it yet, but I kind of have an idea. I'll take you off the pod here and show you what I'm thinking of. Thinking that if I remove this bolt, slide it up to here, bypass that one, go to that one, and possibly remove this bolt and bring it back to here, that'll shorten this whole thing up to where I'll have a distance from this post to that post of about 8.5, 9 feet. I kind of wanted to run my logs to 8 feet, but I may have to take them up to 9 feet. My plan was to take some of these 4x4s, I have a lot of these, run those up as uprights right here, and then put my 2x10s up in here, bolt through here. I got carriage bolts, and then throw a couple more extra lags into it. I got some wood lags, and see if I can't get my rails with my uprights, and then put my remaining 4x4s on top about every 2 foot maybe, just set the logs on. And these uprights would then, these uprights 4x4s would then hold the logs from falling over the side of off the sides of this. So I'm going to work on these bolts first. I don't know how hard that's going to be and how easy it is to slide this thing together. Never done anything like that before, so I'm not familiar with farm equipment at all, but it looks pretty simple. It just depends on how long it's been sitting there and how easy I can slide them together. So I'll try that. All right, well, the first attempt failed to get those bolts out. They are been in there for a long time, I think. I did spray them with some rust breaker, but I think they're just seized in there so tight. They do wobble, but they're locked in there. I do have a hardware store that's just here in town. They should have something like this. So next step, cut them off, put a saw blade on here that's made for metal, cut them off, get new bolts. That bolt was definitely getting a little worn in there. You could tell it was worn on both sides. So they've been in there for a long time. That's okay, we'll replace them with new. Well, I'm back. Got my bolts. This was the bad one. Not quite the same size, but it'll do for now. I'll replace them with the bigger ones eventually, but I think these are 1/2 inch. These look like they're about 5/8, maybe a little bit larger. But these were worn down so much. Slid it forward. It slid really well going forward and into place. So should work out pretty good. I don't think this is going to be an issue at all with these a little bit smaller size bolts, because I'm only going to use it on the land and then down the road 1/4 mile to our other entrance. It's 1/4 mile down around. So I think I'll be okay. I don't think it's going to cause any problems. Now I just got to see if I can get this thing short enough. Seems to be like 2 collars in here or something. I don't know what that collar is for. I'm not a farmer, but oh yeah. Might have to block these tires. Well, cutting my head off again. This upper half, I'm going to take that off there. This upper half did not slide as well together as this bottom half, so I'm kind of getting a really tough here. I tried to use leverage with one of the 4x4s on the back to push it forward, blocking the front tires, but I think I'm just going to do it the easier way and go get the tractor. All right, since I was over at the shipping container, and I was gonna bring over the tractor, and I seen the come-along hanging on the wall, and I thought, well, maybe I'll try with the come-along first. So this will be a little bit maybe more precise, and I can judge it a little bit better. Found the bolt, and get you in there. And now I'm just going to tighten it up. Got the come along loose. Wasn't as hard this time since I kind of figured out how to operate it. All right, well, my goal was to get it from point A, right here, to point B at 8 feet. Fortunately, 8 feet lands here. I don't have any more room to move there. I could move this one farther forward, drill another hole, but at this point, I just may make my logs 9 feet, you know, I'm trying to think, 9 feet 6 inches, or 9 feet 4 inches, which would be 112, is that? Yeah. So, because our bucking table set up, we could do 9-foot logs on there also. I do have an extra slot for the 9-foot, so we would end up with probably 7 cuts per log, which is okay. I just thought for the tractor's purpose, lifting a 9-foot log at height is going to be a little bit harder. But I think we'll be good there. I could take this one out, move this ahead farther, and drill another hole. But it's going to be pretty hard to drill through without some really good bits. And I just got standard bits from the hardware store, and I don't think it's worth the hassle. So the next plan is to do the uprights. All right. Not quite sure how high I'm going to make these, but I think I'll make them maybe 38 inches. I could go 40. 40 won't hurt because this is actually going to be stood up. It's actually going to be stood up. This will be up inside of here. Oh gosh, that's a little too heavy. This is some wet 4x4s. And I'm going to carriage bolt through the whole thing, and I'll put another one up here. Should keep this from tipping and wobbling too much, but thinking maybe, because this is going to be the top of my deck here where the other logs go across, where the log is actually going to be sitting. So I'm thinking about 42 inches. Yeah, 42 inches should be high enough. Could do 44. I'm not sure. Let's just go 44. I can always cut them off once I get them in there, if I find that they're too long. Oh, these magnetic ruler. All right, give you an idea what I'm doing here is I'm actually gonna carriage bolted from this side all the way through to this side. Put a double lock nut on that, and then I'll run 4x4s across over to the other side once I get this side done. I don't know exactly what I'll have. I'll do measurements when I get done here to see what I have in the center, but figured I can go up at least, 2 logs high, 2, maybe 3 across, depending on how. I didn't know any other way to do it, because if I would have made it wider, if I would have used the full length and extended it out above the wheels, I would then have no way to put my uprights to keep the logs from rolling off the sides. So I figured with these built in, worked out pretty good for 4x4s and things like that. So keep on going. But what I did was I'll take you off this, and I seen a mistake I made. I'm gonna go back and fix. Oops, I dropped you. Oh, there I caught you. What I did was I ran a washer, 2 jam nuts together, carriage bolt through this side. But I seen I was going this direction. I might just point that inwards like I did the other one. So, be right back. Alrighty, now to put the finishing touches on it, I will just cut these off where I need them. With the MS 250, trusty old things. There we go. I think we're going to be good. I'll take and show you what I did. Any suggestions, any maybe comments you have that might work a little bit better, I'm open for it. What I did was I slid this, a recap, I slid this together, brought it down to, let me see here, I think I can get her out there. I'll get out on that outer one out there. From that outside post to this outside post is right around 104 inches. So if I cut them at 8 feet, which I normally cut them at, my inner diameter of this is more than 8 feet. So they would probably roll off. So I'm going to cut them all at 8 feet plus another 16 inches, which would be 112 out to here. And then they would still stretch and hold on to these logs. I got that one out there. I use 2x10s, treated 2x10s here. I lagged these down with lags. I carriage bolted those through with a lock bolt, a lock nut. And these I left a little high. So as my logs sit on there now, it is going to be a stretch from, oops, sorry, I know you can't see anything there, sorry. It is going to be a stretch up to about 30 and a half inches high. So, I don't know, may have to end up cutting those down a little bit. That might be too high to lift logs, depending on how heavy they are. Otherwise, I don't know what else to do. I think it'll work though, for what we're going to use it for. And it'll come out okay.